Can you tell me your name?
Jamie Davidson,
Okay, what year are you?
a freshman
At?
at Michigan State University.
Perfect. Okay, so what is intersectionality?
It's the idea that if you're doing activism work, it's both hypocritical and unproductive to only focus on one aspect of an issue when there's a larger array of issues within that issue.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I'm going to also give you a definition through Kimberly Crenshaw's view, and more of like a paraphrase of it. And intersectionality is a term to give a means of showing how multiple forms of oppression viewed in society can lead to discrimination, basically what you touched on. So, do you believe that intersectionality is present or not present in society?
I think it's not present to the extent it should be.
To the extent it should be. Okay. Why do you say that?
Because a lot of people only focus on, like, a lot of, say, like, white feminists only focus on white women's issues and don't consider trans women to be a part of the category of women, or, like, black women, or things like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And, okay, so I'm just going to get, like, a basis on your identity as a person. So, how do you identify with gender and what pronouns do you use?
I'm non-binary and I use they, them pronouns.
Okay. And what race are you?
I'm white.
Religion?
I'm Jewish.
Okay, what is your class?
I'm upper middle class.
Okay. And sexual orientation?
I'm queer.
Okay. Would you view some, all, or none of your identities as oppressed?
I think to some extent,
Okay.
but the fact that I'm white and also, like, a lot of white queer people, their, like, oppression has been advocated for a lot more than other queer people's oppressions.
Okay, I definitely agree. And through the definition of intersectionality, have you or haven't you yourself felt discrimination in society for the things you identify by?
I think to some small extent, but also I grew up in
Small
Ann
ones.
Arbor, so
So
like,
a lot of people are more understanding there.
yeah, like, it's a pretty easy place for white queer people to grow up.
That's good. Okay, and my last question is, should intersectionality be a term that is taught?
Definitely.
Okay, why do you think that?
Because a lot of people, like, want to be activists who want to, like, advocate for minorities and whatnot, but they don't understand what way is the most effective or, like, the most helpful to everybody.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So that's all I had. Thank you. What is your name?
Shannon Schaefer.
And what year are you?
I'm a freshman at Michigan State University.
Okay, what is intersectionality if you know what it is?
I don't know what it is.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a paraphrase definition of intersectionality through Kimberly Crenshaw's definition, and she's the one that coined the term. And basically, intersectionality is a term to give a means of showing how multiple forms of oppression viewed in society can lead to discrimination. And taking this definition, do you believe that intersectionality is present or not present in society?
I think it's present in some ways, but often not enough. I think the groups that are oppressed, it's often defined as one factor that is causing the oppression, when in reality, like, there are multiple factors at work in that situation.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And to just get a background on you, I'm going to get some of your identities. So, how do you identify with gender and what pronouns do you use?
I consider myself female, and I use she, her,
Okay.
etc.
What race are you?
I'm white.
Religion?
I'm Presbyterian.
Presbyterian. Class?
Upper middle class.
Okay. And sexual orientation?
I'm heterosexual.
Okay. And would you view some, all, or none of your identities as oppressed?
I would not consider any of my identities as oppressed for
Okay.
the most part, so.
Yeah. And through the definition of intersectionality, have you or haven't you felt discrimination in society?
Comparatively, no. I don't believe I've really experienced discrimination, but given the definition of intersectionality, I think that's my challenge to kind of see how it's at work with other groups, not just myself, because obviously, like I said, I don't experience discrimination. Really.
And why do you believe that your identities specifically don't experience discrimination?
Because I think, first of all, I'm white, middle, upper class. Female, I'd say, is the only thing that can really be a cause for any type of discrimination, but for the most part, I fit the societal norm.
Okay, yeah. And last question, do you believe that intersectionality should be a term that is taught?
I definitely do, mostly because when we consider oppressed groups, we don't consider the multiple factors, like I said before, and intersectionality kind of, I don't know, it's, if you know the term, it's easier to bring it up in discussion and really understand different factors at work and hopefully to work against those factors to kind of end oppression.
Okay, and is there anything else that you want to talk about with intersectionality?
Not particularly. I'm just glad I got to learn more about it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What is your name?
Christian Worski,
Okay. What year are you?
freshman,
At.
MSU.
Okay. So, what is intersectionality?
It's like the crossing of different like identities, like race, sexuality, gender, and whatnot, and it's like how everyone doesn't experience things the same. Like all gay people don't experience the same thing because they might be gay and white, they might be gay and black, they might be gay and Asian. I don't know.
Okay. That's good. Also, I'm just going to, you basically touched on everything, but I'm just going to give you a definition through Kimberly Crenshaw's, who coined the term of intersectionality. And more so paraphrasing it, intersectionality is a term to give a means of showing how multiple forms of oppression viewed in society can lead to discrimination. So, do you believe intersectionality is present or not present in society?
It is.
Okay.
It's present like in everyone.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Well, because like as a white person, I don't have the same experiences as every single white person. Especially like a white straight person doesn't have the same experiences as a white gay person. Like all of those things cross. You can't just take someone as one thing and not everything they are.
Yep, definitely. And just to get a background on you, I'm going to ask you questions on how you identify. So, how do you identify with gender and what pronouns do you use?
He, him, his.
Okay. What race are you?
White.
Religion?
Christian, but not like. I only go to church on like Easter and Christmas.
Okay. Class?
Lower middle.
Okay. Sexual orientation?
Gay.
Okay. Would you view some, all, or none of your identities that you just told me as oppressed?
Probably just gay.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Well, because like males, they've always had the upper hand in society. White people always had the upper hand in society. Christians, like Catholicism, that's always been the like top of the food chain in terms of religions. And I mean, I suppose lower middle class is also like not heavily discriminated against for it, but I don't have like the same advantages as someone who's in a higher.
Mm-hmm. And especially since that gap is definitely widening between poor and upper class. There's like almost no middle class anymore. So, So through the definition of intersectionality, have you or haven't you felt discrimination in society for the things that you identify by?
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of intersectionality, I don't have anything to compare it to. Like, if I were to compare myself to someone else, I could take that in terms of intersectionality. But like, for being gay, definitely, if you put me against another gay white male based on like where we grow up or something, I could compare those differences. But
Okay, definitely. And for my last question, should intersectionality be a term that is taught, and if so, why?
I do think so because it's present everywhere. People can't just assume like. I mean, a lot of stereotypes come from a lack of that, because then it's like all of these people are the same, they have the same experiences, but that's not true with anything.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Is there anything else you want to cover on intersectionality? No?
No, I think we're good.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Nana Craw.
And what year are you?
I'm a freshman
At
Michigan State University.
Yep. Okay, do you know what intersectionality is?
I do not.
Okay, intersectionality, I'm going to give you a definition through Kimberly Crenshaw's and more of like a paraphrase. And intersectionality is basically like the term used to describe like discrimination faced by people through like having multiple forms of oppression. Like, let's say if you are gay, you're poor, and you're a female. Like, those are all things, like, because people will usually saw out to defend, like, oh, if they're gay, let's defend them. But, like, if they're gay and they're poor, it's like they're not thinking of all these different things that can lead to discrimination. Yeah. So, like, taking from that definition, do you think that, like, just the fact of intersectionality is present or not present in society?
I actually do believe it's present in society, especially like modern day.
Yeah, definitely with Trump and
With
everything.
Trump, yeah.
Okay, and just to get like a basis on you, I'm just gonna get like a background of like your identity as a person.
Okay.
So, can you tell me how you identify with gender and what pronouns you use?
Okay, so I'm straight. I just go by like she, her.
Okay, perfect. Race?
Well, I'm African American
Okay.
and I'm also Lebanese.
Okay. What religion?
Christianity.
Okay. Your class?
Class like
Like middle class?
Oh, I'm middle class.
Okay, perfect. Are there any other identities that you just want to share? No, that's about it. Okay. And do you believe that any or like none or some of these identities that you've like told me are a form of like oppression in society?
Well, I feel like being a Christian, like there's some Christians out there that like really oppress other people, like because honestly Christians say like, oh, if you're gay, like this isn't good, like you need to follow God's word, like homosexuality, like it's not great. But like I don't see it that way. Like I feel like God's supposed to love all his children. It doesn't matter. Everyone should be accepted. And I feel like many Christians don't believe that.
Yep. I definitely agree with that. And have you faced discrimination in society through like this term of like intersectionality for like what you identify by?
No, not what I identify by, but like I have had like a couple racist slurs. It was especially at a young age, because like one day it was in kindergarten. I wanted to play puzzles with my friends, but this girl Rebecca was like, yeah, no, you can't play with us because you're black, and that really hurt my feelings. And I didn't really know exactly really what that meant, because kindergarten, you're like 5, you don't know anything. But I came home and I cried and I kind of realized what it meant, and it still follows me today.
I have one last question,
Okay.
so then you can get out of here. But do you believe that the term of intersectionality, like bringing a term to like this discrimination that people face, should be taught?
I feel that it should be taught, because like I did not know what it was at all, and it's like a really important issue, so I feel like it should be taught. Like history class, social studies, like economics, something, so it can be spread.
Yep, and I definitely believe that it should be taught too, because then if we learn about it, that's when we can like take action on
Yeah.
it. So, is there anything else you have to say about intersectionality?
No, but thanks for like teaching me what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Like it was nice to learn something new.
Okay, definitely. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sarah.